Coming up next, concern and worry from international students over new federal immigration policies.
So it's definitely scary and very worrying to see that things like this are happening.
Plus, 8 years after a Penn State student's death, we look at the Piazza Center as it fights hazing nationwide.
They accept it, they normalize it. This is a pipeline issue.
And money that helps schools, hospitals, and others in rural areas may be at risk because of a case before the Supreme Court.
It would be absolutely devastating to rural America were these funds not available.
The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Eva Hines.
And I'm Jaden Vogel. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, more international students are facing risk and uncertainty because of changes to immigration enforcement. I talked with Penn State international students about the issue.
Ice off campus! Ice off campus!
Across the country, some international students are facing increased scrutiny under the Trump administration's second term. Some have had visas revoked, others detained for deportation. Now, concerns about immigration policy are hitting close to home for students at Penn State.
I moved back here in 2013. I also have Argentinian, and currently, actually very recently, I became a U.S. citizen. It's kind of like almost like a weight off my shoulders. I can kind of like live peacefully and not have to worry about that too much.
Ignacio Escriba, who's lived in both Spain and the U.S., says his experience as an immigrant has been positive. But he knows that's not true for everyone.
If you haven't committed any crimes or done anything wrong, I don't see the reason for you to be deported. So it's definitely scary and very worrying to see that things like this are happening.
The Trump administration says its immigration policies are about national security and legal accountability, focusing on those who overstay visas or participate in political activism deemed dangerous. Critics argue many of the cases lack transparency and due process.
Keeping more to yourself, really. You don't quite want to risk it, simply because if you blow a chance like this one, there's really not another one.
As you can see behind me at the Biobehavioral Health Building, students are protesting against former ICE agent Myron Gaines, who is speaking here at Penn State. They say this sends a message that anti-immigration actions are being tolerated, and they're here to push back. While Penn State declined to comment for our story, the university sent an email to students. We want to remind you of the guidance and resources that are currently available to you while we continue to monitor evolving federal actions and policies related to immigration and international travel. The email also confirmed that some international students had, quote, recently had their lawful status in the U.S. terminated. For students like Juan and Ignacio, now legal citizens, the threat may be over. But for others on temporary visas, it's far less clear.
And just a few hours ago, we obtained this letter sent to at least one student, notifying them about their student visa being revoked by the government. It reads in part, typically individuals in this situation are required to depart the U.S. immediately, as there is no grace period. The university advises that student to talk with an immigration attorney, and it's encouraging others to keep immigration documents up to date and to get support from the International Student and Scholar Advising Office.
Keeping students safer is the goal of a center created after the death of Penn State student Tim Piazza. Reporter Holly Deemer has been working on a story to give you an inside look at what that center is doing. She's in studio with more details. Holly?
With less than 15 full-time employees, the Piazza Center is one of Penn State's smallest resources. But it's making a big national impact. With people working in Pennsylvania, Indiana, and Louisiana, the organization is trying to make fraternities and sororities safer.
Call it an old soul, a new research center.
A new approach to a longtime problem. After the hazing death of Penn State student Tim Piazza in 2017, his parents and then university president Eric Barron worked to create the Timothy J. Piazza Center for Fraternity and Sorority Research. Originally housed at Indiana University under a different name, the center moved to Penn State with the goal of finding ways to end hazing and make Greek life safer. Steve Veldkamp joined the center while at Indiana and uses Tim's story as inspiration.
There are three main focus areas: students that are learning, leading, intervening, taking action, preventing hazing and building out prevention practices, and then accountability with prevention lens.
While the Piazza Center is located here at Penn State, the researchers live across the country and work with over a dozen different universities. A key project for the center, the What Works study, collaborates with universities to find what works in hazing prevention for their specific campus and organizations. Dr. Kimberly Davis is the data analyst for the Piazza Center and a key researcher on the What Works project. She's worked closely with schools and students to learn about their experiences in Greek life.
Hearing directly from the students about their thoughts and perspectives and what they've seen, I think has been valuable for us as a research team, but valuable for the institutions as well.
One key piece of prevention noted by the center is the importance of legal consequences for hazing.
At that point, then, the behaviors that are going on in your fraternity or sorority can impact your life when you're much older and well beyond your time as an undergraduate fraternity member.
President Joe Biden signed the Stop Campus Hazing Act in December, which is the most robust anti-hazing federal law passed. It also made hazing a Clery Act offense, requiring universities to track and notify campus communities.
And so my hope is that campuses will look at those reportable Clery hazing offenses or allegations and say, wow, we need more support in these areas. And so it'll be really a call to action for campuses to invest more in education and more in prevention education.
While the Piazza Center focuses on reform at the collegiate level, it's looking to expand into high schools.
Hazing actually begins in middle school and in high school. Students that are bullied, students that are hazed, have a higher propensity of being hazed in college and or being perpetrators of hazing. They accept it, they normalize it. So this is an admissions, this is a pipeline issue, and again, high schools need to really be involved in this conversation.
As the center expands its reach, positive impacts are emerging.
99% of chapters that we have in our National Fraternity and Sorority Scorecard data set don't have any aggravated hazing violations, and 97% don't have any hazing violations at all.
The Piazza Center is currently recruiting its third cohort for the What Works study, including universities nationwide and PA high schools.
Thanks, Holly. Penn State is launching a new National Security Institute aimed at enhancing its work with defense and national security. The goal is to advance research in areas like infrared detection, energy storage, and robotics. The university is now searching for a director to lead the initiative and work with federal and industry partners. A tragic helicopter crash in New York has left a family of Spanish tourists, including 3 children, dead after the aircraft broke apart mid-air and plunged into the Hudson River. Witnesses described the chopper spinning out of control yesterday before slamming into the water. Cell phone video showed rescue boats responding near the Holland Tunnel. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating.
Construction season is underway across Pennsylvania, and some bridge work is happening in Center County. PennDOT says a restoration project has started on the bridge across Route 322 at Elmwood Street near the State College Route 26 exit. Drivers may see short-term lane and shoulder closures there. Work is also underway on bridges at Warner Boulevard and Spring Creek near the Oak Hall exit on 322. The right lanes will be closed during this work.
The U.S. Supreme Court is deliberating a case that could raise wireless internet costs in rural areas around the country, including here in PA. Reporter Isabel Charbonneau has the details.
Internet for schools, phone services for hospitals and libraries. For rural communities, getting connected can be expensive and difficult. That's why the Federal Communications Commission uses a fee called the Universal Service Fund to help provide those services to more remote places. In fact, from 2022 through last year, 3,500 Pennsylvania schools received funding, benefiting 1.9 million students. The fund was created by Congress in 1996, but now some communities and lawmakers are worried the funding may be at risk.
I think it's imperative that we do everything we can to provide and keep going with infrastructure that provides broadband to rural communities.
The U.S. Supreme Court is debating a case that could get rid of the Universal Service Fund. Consumers Research, a nonprofit, argues that Congress and the FCC violated the Constitution when collecting and using the money. If overturned, it could affect people nationwide.
It would be absolutely devastating to rural America were these funds not available.
The FCC currently provides universal service through 4 ways: making phone service more affordable, helping customers pay for their phone charges, rural health care programs, and providing telecommunication services, internet, and internal connections to eligible schools and libraries. The future of the fund now rests with the Supreme Court. In State College, I'm Isabel Charbonneau for the Center County Report.
That Supreme Court ruling is expected by the end of June.
A Vermont company has recalled more than 1,700 pounds of butter because it may be contaminated with coliform, a type of bacteria found in fecal matter. Agrimark recalled 189 cases of Cabot Creamery 8-ounce premium butter made with sea salt, according to the FDA. The butter was distributed in 7 states, including Pennsylvania. It's classified as the lowest level of recall, which means it's not likely to cause health problems. Consumers should not eat or use the recalled butter, which has a best-by date of September 9th.
It's been a cold week for April, so when will it warm up? We check the 7-day forecast coming up.
And a historic game for Penn State hockey. We check in at the Frozen Four in St. Louis. Also coming up, it's been through good times and tough times. We visit a woman-owned business that's celebrating a milestone in Boalsburg. A co-owner of a State College food shop has been sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to charges of deceptive business practices. Campus Steaks owner Joseph Ford also owns an electrical contracting company in southeastern PA. Authorities said he charged electrical customers for services never performed. He's been sentenced to 15 to 31 years in prison.
A state senator has proposed a bill requiring state employees to work specifically their in-person workplaces. Senator Doug Mastriano says the Return to Work Act would help deliver better service, improve the economy, and strengthen employee efficiency. If passed, the bill does allow flexible hybrid options when possible.
A small business in Boalsburg is celebrating a milestone. I stopped by this week to visit and learn about the people behind the story. Nearly 35 years ago, Pam Bear bought a small store in her hometown of Boalsburg.
It was a little strange for me to be working in retail because I had no experience in retail.
Back then, she had no idea what was to come. On average, most small businesses last about 9 years, but this shop right here is coming up on 35 years in business. At this point, it's less of a business and more like a local landmark here in Boalsburg. It hasn't always been easy for Pam and her family, as she calls the employees she works with. Pam recently survived breast cancer and has had other health scares, but her store, A Basketful, is still going strong.
It's the people. It's the people I see. Here, I'm going to get a teary. Maggie had me in tears this morning. It's just the love that we feel.
She doesn't do it alone. Her 2 right-hand women, Maggie Markle and Robin Browse, have been there through the ups and downs.
She hired me at 15. I've been with her for 34 years.
The store has faced some challenges, especially the COVID-19 pandemic.
Just figuring out what we were going to do, but we came together. Robin did a ton of research. We tried. And again, that's Pam allowing us, like, okay, let's try something new. We got to reinvent.
Pam and her employees are proud to be a fully women-owned and operated small business. They hope it'll continue to flourish in the years ahead because of their strong ties to their community. Pam says she appreciates every moment she has had at her store.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
The 35th birthday celebration will take place on May 3rd at the store in Boalsburg.
We've seen a cold start to April, but as we get throughout the next couple of days, we actually will see a warm-up in sight. Right behind me here at Beaver Stadium, we're seeing a lot of low cloud cover and actually a little bit on the chillier side. Temperatures right now in the upper 30s, actually about 10 to 15 degrees below where we should be for this time of year, but it will actually get a bit warmer going throughout the next couple of days. Taking a look at temperatures across the region, 39 State College, 36 still in Erie, but we're going to see those temperatures not really climbing a whole lot today. As we go towards that south central part of the U.S., we're actually seeing those temperatures in the 70s and even close to 80 degrees. Taking a look at what we have going on right now, we have a few showers across the region. A lot of us are really avoiding those raindrops today, just left with some pretty overcast conditions. As we take a closer look at what's going on, we have a low pressure system to the south that bring in some moisture from our south and east, bring in some clouds and some rain showers over the past day or two. As we take a look at what's going on right now and into the future, we will see mainly cloudy skies today, not a whole lot of rain. As we get towards tonight, though, we'll see those showers and some steady rain at times, especially in the eastern part of the Commonwealth. But as we get towards the rest of the night, maybe State College seeing some light to moderate rain mixing in with snow, some of our eastern counties. As we get towards tomorrow, though, we'll see those temperatures back in the 40s, maybe a few morning showers, but mainly dry most of the day and overcast once again. And we'll see those rain showers finally move out of the region as we get towards Saturday night. And really our big story is that rain. The eastern part of the state will see possibly over a half an inch and maybe just about a tenth to quarter of an inch in that central part of the state. As we look at what's going on in the second half of the weekend, sunshine and temperatures in the 50s as we get towards Sunday. And even we're going to really see that warm up creep in on Monday with winds coming out of the south. And we'll see temperatures getting back into the 60s. Our main weather story is this system right here may bring in some showers and thunderstorms out towards Monday night, but maybe just some rain and snow showers on Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing with it slightly below average temperatures. As we take a look at what's going on today, we have those highs in the mid 40s with a few showers possible. As we get towards tonight, those lows aren't really going to drop a whole lot with some lingering showers and low near 40 degrees. And taking a look at tomorrow, we're really not seeing a whole lot of temperature improvement with the mid-upper 40s. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, a lot of temperature roller coaster, cloudy skies in the 40s. But as we get towards Monday, though, we may see a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms. We're really seeing a temperature roller coaster all around.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty cold this week, but I'm just looking forward to some warmer days.
I know, I need the sun. We haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
After days of heavy rain brought rivers to near record levels across Kentucky and Tennessee, people are starting to return to their homes. Rivers have crested and are starting to recede. Major flooding has inundated parts of the South this week. At least 23 people have died in the severe weather, and at least 157 tornadoes also struck within 7 days. Now to Ethan with sports.
Next in sports, Penn State hockey had a late game and a wild night in its first ever appearance in the Frozen Four. We'll take you to St. Louis. Also, coming up, an update on Penn State football's spring practice as the team head towards the blue-white game in 2 weeks. I'm Ethan Hetrick with sports. Penn State's hockey's historic trip to the Frozen Four is over. The Nittany Lions lost last night in the national semifinals to Boston University. Reporter Owen Gelber is live in St. Louis with more. Owen?
Thanks, Ethan. Penn State's Cinderella run did come to an end last night, dropping the game to Boston University 3-1. Puck drop was scheduled to be at 8:30 p.m. last night, but didn't happen until about 9:50 p.m. after the Denver and Western Michigan game headed to double overtime. The real story of yesterday's game, goaltender Mikhail Georgiev for Boston University stopping 32 of 33 shots that he faced, but still tons to be proud of if you're Penn State. Ethan?
Owen, how did the team fans deal with the late start last night? It didn't even start until after 10 p.m.
Yeah, you're right. So 10 p.m. Eastern time was about the puck drop time for this second game with Penn State. Tons of coffee going around, tons of caffeine being sold on the concourse. But a lot of the fans from Game 1 who were planning on staying for Game 2 to watch Penn State decided to leave before the Game 2 started. due to the late time. So if you were back on the East Coast watching the game didn't end till about 12:30 Eastern time. So certainly was a late night, but as we spoke about, tons to be proud of for Penn State going into next season, a ton to look forward to in the future. This senior class certainly have a lasting impact and legacy on this program. But that's all for now from St. Louis. Ethan, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Owen. Safe travels home. Now to the gridiron, where Penn State spring football continues. This week at Haluba, we were able to catch a few minutes of practice as the players continue their work. Head coach James Franklin praised new running backs coach Stan Drayton for his smooth transition into the program. Franklin also said he expects quarterback Drew Aller to take another step forward in his senior campaign. Spring practice ends with the blue-white game April 26th at Beaver Stadium. It's whiteout weekend at Penn State for two different sports. Both lacrosse and baseball will host their Wear White games. Lacrosse faces number 19 Johns Hopkins tomorrow at Panzer Stadium, and baseball plays USC on Sunday for its whiteout. And kids run the bases game. Baseball has 21 wins this season and is number 6 in the Big Ten standings. That's all for sports. Now back to y'all. How do you guys feel about that hockey game last night?
I mean, it was a little disappointing, but I still think the team gave it their best.
They definitely did, but at least we have this weekend to look forward to for the whiteout for two of our other sports.
Very true. Alrighty, well, thank you, Ethan. Coming up next, the Berkey Creamery is teaming up with Movin' On, Penn State's annual music festival, to celebrate 50 years with an exclusive flavor. Find out what it is after the break.
Penn State's annual music festival, Movin' On, is celebrating 50 years. And the famous Berkey Creamery is marking the milestone with a new ice cream flavor, Movin' On 50th Anniversary Cookies and Cream. The music festival will take place at the University Park IM Fields May 2nd. The special ice cream will be available until May 4th. Eva, I think we have to go get that ice cream.
I think so. I mean, that cookies and cream ice cream sounds amazing, so I'm down.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for another local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good weekend.